Right, in Ephesians chapter 3, at the very end, it says, "Unto him," that is unto God, "be glory in the church through Christ Jesus throughout all ages." And some, you've probably heard it yourself, might raise the objection, doesn't that sound boring? Wouldn't it be boring just floating around on clouds with harps praising God? Well, first of all, that's not all we'll be doing, floating around on clouds with harps. But more fundamentally, if God was finite like you and me, yeah, we'd be bored. You and I are boring, right? There's only so much to us. But God is infinite. And throughout chapter 3 of Ephesians, some of his qualities that are infinite are highlighted. Like in the first 13 verses, it talks about the mystery behind the gospel, the mystery of his will, his purpose for humanity in reconciling both Jew and Gentile in one body, right? And it talks about in verse 9, the unsearchable riches of Christ. So the profoundness of what he has provided to us in salvation is unsearchable. You'll never get to the end of it. And it came from an infinite mind. It speaks of the manifold wisdom of God in verses 10 through 13. Imagine a God so wise, so of such intellect that he can allow billions of creatures the space to make choices and yet accomplish his will, even in spite of evil acting freely against him. He still uses them to accomplish his purpose. Think of the cross. And so we have infinite riches. We have infinite wisdom. We have infinite love. In verse 14 on, he says that he wants the believers in Ephesus to know the love of Christ, but then he goes on to say that it's beyond knowledge. When you really consider what Christ went through, when you see his eyes, if you're saved and you go on to glory and you look into his eyes, you will see the one who hung on the cross and took your death and conquered it for you. You will not be able to put into words the love that you sense there. And then he goes on to say, unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think. His ability is infinite. So in the presence of God forever, we will have an inexhaustible source of awe, of rapture, of motivation to worship and to love. So no, we will not be bored in the slightest. If he was like us, yeah, we would, but he's not.